So this week I had an experience as an online seller. I usually sell insoles, and there was a lady who turned down insoles worth 1,500 because I was charging 150 shillings delivery fee. Flat out refused. She was willing to buy the insoles, she just didn't want to pay the delivery fee because she's of this notion that delivery in town should be free. Now, I'm not based in town, so if I'm to send somebody to bring you stuff in town, I have to give them fare. So I've learned, apparently there's been a whole spiel about it on social media, and apparently the way to go is you factor in the delivery free, or if it's town you just do it free, because watu wameharibika hivyo. Anyway, what is this leading to? Somebody mentioned, it was in Buyer Beware, and the admin asked for people to talk about toxic customers. I'm going to talk about toxic relationships. Loving relationships, family relationships, work relationships, just relationships that are toxic. Now, usually by the time somebody is getting into a toxic relationship, they are not okay in the head. Take it to the bank. They are not okay in the head. There's something severely wrong in the sense that they have experienced trauma, they have low self-esteem, they have low self-worth, or they have self-loathing or self-something. But they are not okay, because the kind of choices we make in terms of our relationship, even in terms of our friends, really reflects a lot about our psyche, our state of mind. Trust me, that's a cassette anchor, like season 1, episode 1 to 12, about toxic relationships. Been there, done that, got the t-shirt. And I can tell you from my personal experience, it was about me. Because you see, the constant, remember the constant K? The constant was me. I was the one who was choosing these people to be in my life. I was the one who was nurturing the toxicity because I was playing. If you want toxicity to end in your life, don't play. If somebody is toxic in your life, they are a narcissist. They thrive off pain. They thrive off putting you down. The best way to deal with that situation is simply not play. Don't give in. Don't reply to those texts. Even in social media, you can imagine the kind of bashing that I get. I'm the kind of person, regardless of, because I don't think I have the kind of social standing people think that I do. So I'll comment in any group, and when people see it's me and I'm known in a couple of circles, I'll be bashed. And the way I react to that bashing has a lot to deal with my state of mind. I used to be the kind of person who would engage you in fights in social media. I would get in your DMs and I would diss you and we would go at it. And a big reason was because of the pain that I would feel. It is what you said and how it made me feel. But with time, when I dealt with my demons, you know, the demons that are inside, the ones that come into your mind, churu, 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 in the relationship, especially when you're arguing with your spouse, kuna kwanga na aka kakitu kana kwambia isiishe hapo kai umemwachia lazima pia yeye asikie vile unasikia. Some of those demons come from our trauma. They come from our state of mind. They come from our psyche. Our psyche is formed by what we feed ourselves, by what we see, by what we hear, by who we surround ourselves. Even what we read and the kind of music we listen to, it all feeds into this big factory called our brain. And then the kind of thoughts that we emit is 100% what we give ourselves inside. So if you're in a toxic relationship, then there is something wrong with you. Don't start crying to us and telling us, this guy, this chick, sijui what. No. The problem is you. And I have the foresight right now to realize that when people come to me and they're in toxic relationships, there is always that lack of knowledge because of naivety. You know, based on your knowledge at that time, based on your upbringing, based on your previous experiences. For real, you don't know. That one I can understand, because even for me, if I look back in my life, some of the choices I made were based on my knowledge at that time. And my knowledge was fed on my experiences. Who have I been with? Who are my mentors? What was my circle? What was my upbringing? It fed me into picking this one and believing this and fixing this and tweaking that. there is that leeway I can give. However, when you fully know this person is drama, for real, and you can just tell dramatic people, how are they to people when they are drunk? How are they to you when they are sober? That is the kind of toxic relationship that if you get into me, I'll just keep quiet and I'll wait for you ujichanue kidogo ndio ujitoe. Because I think, and maybe you can bear witness to me, bear witness with me, there are some people you cannot change their mind. A woman in love and a follower of a prophet. You cannot change their mind. The guy will be cheating on her left, right, and center. Please note I'm talking about women, because I can only talk about women. If you want to talk about men, let a guy talk. Me, I can only talk about my experiences in chicks. But the guy is cheating on you, you will forgive him. The guy is cheating on you, you will tell him to tell that chick to leave so that you can go into the house and talk. You know, that kind of toxicity, the kind of relationship where it is going nowhere. You just know this is drama I am bringing into my life. So if somebody, for me especially, if you come to me with a toxic situation and it is something with your kurukuru legs like this you have walked into, I will not bash you, because I think everybody is going through their own journey. I think everybody has their own time of growth. I will not bash you. I will just watch you and I will support you as best as I can. But when the support is over, I will watch you drown until you learn. Because you first have to get it right in your head. You first have to deal with your inner toxicity so that you can stop attracting this trash in your life. And the interesting thing is, there is no age limit to trash. You will think, oh, this is just for the young. This is all for the millennials. Some of the decisions people my age and older are making, you're like, and you pay taxes with that mind? Are you serious? How? When? To what end? So first deal with your inner demons. Deal with yourself. Deal with whatever issue you're bringing into. It can't always be his fault. You know, sometimes as women, we're always, but you're crazy. You're here busy blaming him, talking trash about him to your friends, but you're crazy. Your mama knows you're crazy. People avoid you in funerals. When there's a bash and there's a drink, guys are like, oh Lord. People know you're going to start some drama. So if you're constantly dramatic and you're like, oh, people always, they never see the good in me. No, it is because you don't see the good in you. It is because you've not dealt with your past pain. It is because you do not know how to decipher between criticism and abuse. For you, everything is personal. Everything hurts. By the way, if you keep taking things personally all the time, there is something wrong with you. I'm not saying that you should be lovey-dovey, and me, I take things personally, by the way. There are things people tell me, even today, I can tell you for free. On air, they still hurt, because life is a process. I have not dealt with all my demons. I am trying. I am in the process, and sometimes I drop the ball and I just give in to my emotions and I cry. I'm like, they called me ugly. It's okay. Everybody has that down moment. But once you've been down, you pick yourself up. You fortify your mind with strong thoughts. You surround yourself with the kind of people who promote healthy lifestyle, healthy living, healthy thinking. You can't surround yourself with people who are constantly depressed, people who constantly see the negative in things, people who do not have a penny to their name, people who are always bitter. They're always arguing. There's always something wrong. There's no good in anyone. Their first action is to fight, is to abuse. You cannot surround yourself with people like that. You cannot be in relationship with people like that and call it healthy. It is toxic. And if you do, the problem is not them, because the constant is K. You can't change other people. You can only change yourself. The problem is you. So, my advice is, if you're crazy, try and be single for a while. By the way, just be single, love yourself, get a cat, get a dog. My husband is laughing. Get a pet, get a hobby, but avoid the son of man. Avoid his people, avoid his kin. Be by yourself, deal with your craziness, and then you can now invite people into your life. But don't get into toxic relationships and then start crying years later and say nobody loves me. No. Like attracts like. If you smell like roses, people want to pluck you and smell you. But if you're busy smelling like garbage, you'll be taken to Ruiru Dam site and you will mingle with the people of Ruiru Dam site. So start with your head before you go to your heart. And if you can, as much as possible, deal with the enemy on the inside. Because if there is no enemy on the inside, the one on the outside will not hurt you. That's all I'm going to say about that. Crazy people.